It was an early morning in Ponyville. Rainbow Dash was getting ready to go to School of Friendship as a normal teaching. But when she was about to leave, Dorothy arrived to her home and she had a letter. And Rainbow wasn't expecting any letters from any pony. But she thanked Dorothy and opened the letter. And this apparently was from her friend Gummy Wrapper from Clouston. She hadn't even seen her friend since she moved to Ponyville. But the last time she heard, Gummy Wrapper had moved to Trottingham only about 2 years after that Rainbow had moved. Apparently, Gummy Wrapper lived in Trottingham working a small candy store. But now she was having a vacation time and decided to maybe to see her old friend in Ponyville for about a week. Rainbow was really excited to see her friend, since she had even seen her in so long time. And she wondered what she had been up to, since they hadn't even been in contact since Rainbow moved. But when she went to School of Friendship, she announced this message or this letter to her friends. They were real equally excited, even though Rainbow and Fluttershy had known each other for quite longest of all her friends. But she wasn't aware of her friend Gummy Wrapper. But she had heard her talking about her friend who moved to Trottingham. But when Pinky was heard that she lived in Trottingham and worked in a candy store, she was a little bit excited because, after all, she was also working at Sugar Cube Corner. But not only they were surprised with some sweets, they also sometimes served with some candy, which that was delivered from Sweet Drops. But Rainbow was really happy to see her friend soon. She is mentioned in the letter she will arrive to Ponyville within the next few days by train. And during that time, Rainbow was taking care of her work and even helping the local weather team, just in case since she was still part of it. But she was also making sure that her home is clean and organized till her friend arrives. But there was something about the letter that mentioned them, because they mentioned that she was going to take a vacation for about a week. And from the last time she heard about Gummy Wrapper, she normally didn't take almost that long vacation, maybe for about a weekend or so, but never a week. But she was just still very happy to see her friend once again, though. And a few days later, Rainbow was waiting at the train station with Applejack. The others said that they will meet Gummy Wrapper at the castle. She had been invited Rainbow with Gummy Wrapper to the castle for some tea and maybe get to know her old friend so that she can meet her new friends. Even though that Rainbow was a little bit nervous about her first meeting with Gummy Wrapper after so long time, she was just wondering, will she be like the same, very energetic, very goofy of herself? Because when they were young, they always made a lot of things together. They had races together, they always talked about the Wonderballs. Apparently, Gummy Wrapper also had a dream to be a Wonderbolt one day. But when she discovered her cutie mark, she decided maybe there wasn't time for her to be a Wonderbolt, and she maybe wanted to be something else. Even though that didn't change their friendship, because Rainbow did actually respect her. Because after that she found out her cutie mark, she discovered that how well talented Gummy Wrapper were to making candy, and that made their friendship just even stronger. And when the train arrived at the station, Rainbow was waiting for her to stepping out. But when she saw her, it was like her heart was stopping for the first time for only a second. She had forgotten how beautiful she were, even though that she hadn't even mentioned this to anyone, not even her old friend Gummy Wrapper. She had a crush on her ever since they were young, but she had almost forgot about those feelings since she moved to Ponyville. And now seeing her for the first time in such a long time, the feelings came back to her like a lightning. Gummy Wrapper saw Rainbow and just ran up to her and they gave each other a hug and they said that they missed each other so much. Rainbow introduced her friend Applejack, and they also were very happy to meet each other for the first time. And Applejack mentioned that they had invited her to see some of their other friends in a castle. And Gummy Wrapper asked, "What castle?" And they saw a castle in just distance behind the train station. That apparently Gummy Wrapper was almost entirely unaware that Rainbow was a close friend to Princess Twilight Sparkle and also one of the local heroes and also one of the biggest heroes in a modern time. It turns out Gummy Wrapper has been occupied by her work and spent some time in her home. She never introduced herself. She doesn't follow much of the news. That's just a surprise to even Rainbow and Applejack. But that didn't bother them for any of them. So they went to see Up Rainbow's other friends, and even there they had a great time. Even Rarity was a little bit surprised to see that Rainbow has such a beautiful friend as herself. They were really even surprised to hearing so much about Gummy Wrappers and Rainbow's childhood together, how they did things together, and even it was before that Rainbow met Fluttershy. But they were just really happy to see her friend. And after their first meeting with her new friends, she was really happy to see that Rainbow had made so much good friends. Even after when they went to Rainbow's home, they were just sitting there, just talking about old friends, their old childhood memories and stuff like that. Rainbow then asked if she had found someone to be within Trottingham, because they had even talked to each other for a long time. Even though that Rainbow had many times once thought to reach out to her, but always forgot about something since other things came between, and she forgot about it. And Gummy Wrapper did mention she did in fact was dating or were dated a stallion only about 2 years after that she moved to Trottingham. But unfortunately the relationship didn't last particularly long since they had their different views about their future together. So she had been single ever since. Even some of her new friends in Trottingham had tried to convince Gummy Wrapper to at least maybe go out for some blind dating or speed dating, try to find someone to be with. But she declined all the time. Even that when she found out some of her new friends had actually set up her with some date, when she always declined and left the area immediately. Because after that, she had decided not to be dating at any pony at any time ever. At least when she feels ready for herself to decide. Even Rainbow wasn't happy being dating any pony. But they actually just started laughing about that and they talked more about some of their childhood memories and they actually started talking for almost the entire afternoon until they realized the time was about 10 p.m. when they both decided it was maybe time to go to bed since they had talked to each other so long. And since Rainbow had invited Gummy Wrapper to stay at her place while she was in the Impona Mill for about a week, which Gummy Wrapper had no objection to. And so for the next couple of days, Gummy Wrapper actually decided to explore the area and even meet to explore the town while Rainbow was occupied by the School of Friendship or doing some other things in town. And of course, Gummy Wrapper, she had no idea, no mind to walk around the town to explore and maybe meet some other of Rainbow's friends. She was really impressed how lifestyle that Rainbow had been living all these years, and even very happy that she made so many friends, along with Pinkie Pie. About Pinkie Pie, she really liked Pinkie Pie. They had so much things in common, and it turned out that Pinkie Pie and Gummy Wrapper felt right good connection. They became very good friends. Even though that Gummy Wrappers were only there for vacation, she even helped Pinkie Pie at Sugar the Corner sometimes with some baking, and they were talking about their old some of her old adventures with Rainbow, and they talked about some of Rainbow's old memories and like that. She really felt connected to Pinkie, and she somehow felt more connected to Rainbow after learning more about some of her past adventures with her friends. She felt so much connected, and just more talking about Rainbow made her realize she had fallen in love with Rainbow. Because every time she talked about Rainbow, she felt her heart was beating a bit faster than normal. She didn't realize until that moment when she talked to Pinkie. And after that she had left Sugar Corner, she ran into to Rainbow. And in fact, Rainbow had been looking for Gummy Wrapper. Since the school was over for the day, Gummy Wrapper and Rainbow decided maybe to spend some time. So they decided to just fly around, and at the evening, when the sun was about to get down, they were actually flying back to Rainbow's home when Gummy Wrapper looked at Rainbow as the sunset, as the last day of the sunlight reaching her, realized she had actually been falling in love with Rainbow, and she started blushing. And Rainbow did notice that. She tried to hide that she was just blushing for something else, but Rainbow wasn't that easily to be fooling. So she asked her once again. There was only one of two things that she could do. One, she could make up a story, or two, telling the truth. Even though that wanted to figure out a way to she wanted to try to figure out something to tell as a lie, or at least something that would make possible sense. But every time, even though for only a few seconds, she realized the only thing she could do was telling the truth. When she told her that, Rainbow was just silent for a moment, and even just looking at her, and realized she first thought, is she maybe made it up? But as she looked at Gummy Wrapper, she realized she wasn't even lying. She was actually honest about this. And for that, she realized she was actually having fun love with her also. But Rainbow, she didn't mention her feelings towards Gummy Wrapper, not at the moment. Because she said that was really surprised, and even for that, Gummy Wrapper believed that maybe Rainbow didn't like her back the same way, so she didn't say much about that. But in fact, that particular night, Rainbow was laying in her bed, just thinking if she should tell Gummy Wrapper about her feelings. So the next day, around breakfast, Rainbow was thinking about telling Gummy Wrapper either back then, but decided maybe wait just later that day because it would be a bit surprising telling her that particular thing middle of the morning, particularly at the breakfast. Since Rainbow didn't have any particular things to do that day, so they decided maybe do things like they did before, like in their old days, like having a race against each other. So they did. They raced against each other for most of the afternoon, and around like 4 p.m., they were sitting at the park, just small talk about that. But when Rainbow thought maybe it was time to tell Gummy Wrapper how she felt. But when she did, Gummy Wrapper was surprised and asked why Rainbow didn't tell her the other day. Because Rainbow wasn't even sure if that she was really telling the truth or was just made that story up. But now when she realized that Gummy Wrapper was actually telling the truth all along, she was really she wasn't even sure how Gummy Wrapper would react if she told the same thing back to her. But after she did that, she was really happy that Rainbow had told her. And for that, they just looked at each other, and suddenly, Gummy Wrapper was leaning forward and even kissed Rainbow. For that, She had almost expected Rainbow to move back, but she didn't. She continued to kissing Gummy Wrapper, and after for only a few seconds, but even it felt for like an eternity. Both looked at each other with a smile and a blushing and said that they really cared about each other. And Rainbow wanted like to try to maybe see if this could actually lead to something more, like a really full relationship. Even though that they kept that this a secret for her friends just for about a day or two because they didn't realize how much this could realize this was something meant to last for like forever. After the next day though, when the Pinky were at home had invited some of their friends to Sugar Corner for having some lunch. When Rainbow and Gummy Wrapper walked in together, they were just acting normal. And when Pinky said, "Here comes the cute couple," both Rainbow and Gummy Wrapper just looked at each other and looked at Pinky with a shocked face. It was like, how did you even know? They hadn't even told any pony. But then Rainbow realized Pinky has the ability to sense like something like that, and then asked, "Pinky, how did you even know?" Even before she asked that, their friends had just looked at both Rainbow and Gummy Wrapper and at Pinky and thought, this must be something that maybe it's a prank that Pinky did. But when Rainbow asked, their faces dropped and looked at Pinky and realized this is one of Pinky's senses. And it turned out though, their friends was really happy to see that Rainbow had been found someone to be with, especially someone she know for a long time and someone she could trust. Because she didn't want to be with someone that she didn't trust that so well. But unfortunately, Gummy Wrapper's visit to Ponyville only lasted for a more few days before she had to go back to Trottingham. Even though that her visit was for only a short time, it felt like they had been seeing each other for a whole year. But Rainbow promised that she would be seeing her in Trottingham shortly for a visit. Even though that they maybe didn't thought maybe they would take another a month or maybe 2 months before Rainbow's to see her, but in fact it was even that long. Because only about a week later, Rainbow went to see Gummy Wrapper in Trottingham only about a week later, and the Gummy Wrapper was really surprised to see Rainbow so soon. But even though that she was really happy to see her, they spent so much time together. They lost spent a lot of time in the park, in the restaurants nearby, and having just amazing time. Even though that they have spent so much time together, they actually informed the families about their relationship only but since been dating for about a month. And they both families was really happy, especially since they both known each other for so long. They have been growing up together, so even so there were no any problems with that. Even though Gummy Wrappers, she was a little bit scared that her family would not accept it as well as she had hoped for. But since they were actually very open, very accepting her as being dating a mayor, they were actually supportive. And that surprised her, but she was really happy to know that. And even though that their relationship was a little bit rocky sometimes, since they couldn't see each other so often, due to the fact that their works, since Rainbow was working as a teacher and as a Wonderbolt. In when Rainbow had told Gummy Wrapper she was in fact a full member of the Wonderbolts, she was really happy that Rainbow had fulfilled her long dream to be as a Wonderbolt. She has invited Gummy Wrapper to some of the Wonderbolt shows in Cloudsdale or even in Trottingham. Their relationship blossomed so much, and after being dating for about 4 years, Rainbow took with Gummy Wrapper to a small hill outside Ponyville when she was over there for a visit. She even proposed to her, and she said yes immediately. Both Gummy Wrapper and Rainbow was really excited, but especially Rainbow. She was really happy to be with some pony that she would have loved so much. And this was something that both really care about. Even for the wedding, Rainbow had asked Fluttershy to be her bridesmaid, and Gummy Wrapper had asked Pinkie to be hers. And even at the party afterwards, both families could really see how happy Rainbow and Gummy Wrapper were together. Their love for each other was so deep it went beyond anything else. It was so strong. And even though the first dance together, when they were dancing, it was like the whole world was standing. It was just stood still. And there was only one they were left. Even afterwards, both families was really excited and really happy to see their daughters to be so much happy. When they went on the honeymoon, they were actually went to a tropical island for about a whole week, which the Twilight had arranged as a gift for them. They were really happy to see that her friend could make that happen because Rainbow had asked Twilight if she could do that for her friend, and she made it possible. And they were actually having just a great time on their honeymoon. Made some sightseeing, explored the island, and even swimming around in the ocean. They had just a great time. And even 2 years after they'd been married, though, they even asked Twilight for help if she could maybe help them to have a family. And Gummy Wrapper decided to be pregnant first, though. And she actually became pregnant with a daughter. And 3 years later, Rainbow decided to be pregnant this time. And she had a boy. Even though that Gummy Wrapper used to live in Trondheim, after that she married the Red Rainbow, she moved to Ponyville and started working with Sweetie Drops. And it worked perfectly. Especially now when she was living in Ponyville with Rainbow, with her wife and the two children. That was some things made them both happy. And if there wasn't for Gem Wrapper had reached out to Rainbow, Rainbow would never have found her true love. She never would have been happier with this life with her, and especially having this perfect married family life with Gummy Wrapper. And even Gummy Wrapper herself, she could not have been happier because she realized though, if she never had reached out to Rainbow, she never would have experienced this true love and true happiness with Rainbow. And she was really happy that she did make that decision to reach out to Rainbow after such a long time. And that's how Gummy Wrapper and Rainbow Dash for a true love got a family together. The end.